I have made Livy the host, the co-host. So Livy, hopefully you have charge of the mute button, and the unmute button. And we are ready to go with our first singer. So our first singer tonight is going to be Dave Harbord, and he's going to be followed by Martin Nail, please. So over to you, Dave.
Dave's not actually on the
Thank you.
camera.
Yeah,
I think.
that's it.
Is he not? Has he sneaked
here.
away?
I think so.
Do you want to just press that then?
Oh, in
Yeah.
that case,
Right.
our first singer will be Martin Nail, possibly followed by Dave Harbord, but otherwise followed by Rich Galloway. That was a great start. Professional, slick. Okay. Off you go, Martin.
Oh, this is a big surprise because when I put my hand up, there were lots of people who had already put their hands up, but the way Zoom lists people is one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Right. Oh, so what was I going to sing? That's interesting thought. I will sing this one because I take the view that this is an appropriate time of year to sing it in view if you actually think about how long pregnancies last and the incidence of food cravings in pregnancy. I think we're just at the right time of year for this song. Now Joseph was an old man, and an old man was he, and he married Virgin Mary, the Queen of Galilee. And he married Virgin Mary, the Queen of Galilee. Now Joseph and Mary, walking in the garden green, where the cherries hung heavy from every limb, where the cherries hung heavy from every limb. Pick me some cherries, Joseph, bless Mary some mild. Pick me some cherries, Joseph, for I am with child. Pick me some cherries, Joseph, for I am with child. Then up spoke old Joseph with his words so unkind. Let the man gather the cherries that owneth the child. Let the man gather the cherries that owneth the child. Then up spoke young Jesus, all from his mother's womb. Bow down, thou blessed cherry tree, that my mother may have some. Bow down, thou blessed cherry tree, that my mother may have some. Then the very top branches bowed down to her knee. Now you you can see Joseph. There are cherries for me. Now you can see Joseph there for me. A Cherry Tree Carol.
Well done.
Quite an innovation singing it at this time of year. Thanks for that.
Well, as I say, it's the, if you think about months and everything, it's the right time to sing it.
And when cherries would be available.
Except
Yes.
that he wasn't born in December. He was born in the spring, wasn't he? He was at the autumn. I can never-
He was, yeah.
Can we not go there?
Not at all.
Okay, moving
You
swiftly on.
believe anything, right?
So, Dave Harbord, are you there? Because you missed your cue to start off with. But you are our next singer if you are available.
Oh, blimey. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And
Love-
then, they're all moving around in the list again. So, Sheila Miller, you will be after
Oh.
Dave.
Really?
Okay, though. Well, this is
All right.
a song I learnt from an LP by the Stewarts of Blair. Old LP. It's a lovely song. It's about alcoholism. A lot of my favourite songs seem to be about alcoholism. Anyway.
Hang
Oh,
on. Oh. Before you start,
Johnny
Dave,
man, do you know, think of rising?
You're muted.
I'm unmuted now. Am I? Yeah.
Something went wrong with the muting, yeah. So, I think
sorry.
we'll have
I'll have to start again then.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's about alcoholism, really. Oh, Johnny, my man, do you know, think of rising? The day is well spent and the night's coming on. Your money's all gone and your whiskey cup's empty. So rise up, my Johnny, and come away home. Oh, who's that I hear that is speaking so kindly? I hear it's the voice of my own wifey Jean. Come in, my dear lassie, and sit down beside me. There's room in this tavern for more than just me. Oh, Johnny, my man, the children are weeping. There's no meal in the barrel for to fill their wee wounds. While you sit here a drinking, you leave me lamenting. So rise up, my Johnny, and come away home. Oh, Johnny, my man, do you remember our courting? With a long summer's day we thought never would end. We would spend the long days among the sweet-scented roses and never give a thought, love, for going away home. Oh, well, I remember those times that you speak of, but those days they are gone, love, and will never return. But as for the present, we'll try for to mend it. So give me your hand, love, and I'll away home. And Johnny rose up and he banged the door open, crying, "Cursed be the alehouse that e'er let me in, and cursed be the whiskey that makes me so thirsty. So give me your hand, love, and I'll away home. Thank you.
Lovely one.
I'm not sure if you heard, but I had it off an LP by the Stewarts of Blair. They localised it a little
Magic song.
because it would sound absurd if I tried.
Wonderful,
And it's,
wonderful song.
Yeah. Ray Fisher used to sing that one as well, and she
Yeah.
always said it was a fairy tale that a Scotsman would leave his whiskey to go home to the family.
Go to the whiskey.
Thanks
Yes,
very
I
much.
did actually want. I met Sheila at the cellar upstairs, and I said to her, "I'd love to sing some of your songs, but it would just sound ridiculous if I imitated your accent." And she said,
Where's the mute button?
I ain't just there today.
Can anyone hear me? Yes. Okay.
Nice of you now, yeah?
I was beginning to wonder if I was on mute without knowing it.
You need to be a bit louder, Amanda.
Keep louder. Oh, not sure I can sustain that. Anyway.
Pardon?
Well, you are a bit quieter than others.
Yeah. Sheila Miller is our next singer, and after Sheila it's going to be Rich Galloway.
Yes, this is. Oh no, I've just looked it up and I've forgotten. Child number 203, I think, which I learned partly from Ewan McCall and partly just from the words in Child. It's another of those clan warfare songs, of which I'm rather fond. Doon decide camen varai, whistling and playing, and he was at Brackley's yet, ere the day was done. Oh, are you there, Brackley, or are you within? For our sharp swords are at your yet, women gar your blood spin. Oh, rise up, my baron, and turn back your kye, for the lads fraid from Warren, they are driving them by. Oh, how can I rise up and turn them again? For I hate a man, I am sure he has 10. Oh, but rise up, Betsy Gordon, and give me my gun. But though I gang out love, sure I'll never win him. Oh, kiss me, my Betsy, don't think I'm to blame. For against 33 was me what is aim. When Brackley was mounted and rade on his horse, a bonnier baron ne'er rade her upon. Rather he'd o' the dee, tae the banks o' the Spey, the Gordons will mourn him and will ban in the ray. With their dirks and their broadswords they did him surround, and they've slain bonny Brackley, way money's the wound. I've just sung that, haven't I? Frae the heat o' the dee, tae the banks o' the Spey, the Gordons will mourn him, and will ban in the ray. Oh, come ye by Brackley's yet, or come ye by there, and saw ye his lady a-reading her hair. Oh, I come by Brackley's yet, and I come by there, and I saw his good lady. She was making good cheer. She was ranting and dancing, I singing with joy, and vowing that very night she would feast in Varai. She has laughed with him, danced with him, welcomed him ben. Aye, she's kept him till morning, wha had slain her good man. And there's grief in the kitchen, but there's mirth in the hall, for the bonniest garden was deed and a wall. But up spark the bairn frae the nurse's knee, it's afore I'm a man, avenged I'll be.
Well done, Sheila. Well done.
Nothing like a bit of revenge. You took us for a bit of a spin there, Sheila. It was most unexpected.
Yeah, yes.
I
always want to add, you have to remember that's also the story of a woman who's almost certainly been married off to an older man who she didn't want with.
That's right. Okay, so next we have Rich Galloway, and then another Rich, or Richard rather, in the form of Richard Mellish. So over to you, Rich.
Remembering to unmute first. This song's A New Tractor by Eddie Butcher. Oh, come all you fine farmers intending to plow, if you listen to me on advice I'll give now. If your land it is frosty or wet with the rain, you can send for young Bar from the town of Coleraine. For this young man he plows with a tractor machine. There's no doubt about it, for him I have seen. For corn or for hay, sure he needs none at all. Just get him a gallon of paraffin oil. For this nation's at war, as you all understand, and every brave farmer must plow up his land. If Britain and France are to win at the sea, it depends on the plow to keep hunger away. In McGilligan parish, in a place called Duncrum, there dwelt a big farmer of fame and renown. Being late with his labor, I'll tell you straight now, he sent for this tractor his farm to plow. Well, the day that she landed in this farmer's yard, the weather was frosty and the ground, it was hard. Someone passed the remark, you're not going to plow, but the answer they got was immediately now. Then the man with the tractor his oil tank did fill, while the pilot behind him the plow did hook to it. He touched the self-starter and then grabbed the wheel. Like a swift bow and arrow, he went to the field. Then the people all gathered this plowboy to see, for the neighbors around thought the like could not be. For an old man aged 80, he solemnly swore that he had ne'er seen the like in his whole life before. Now when this plow's in motion, she does her work fine, 3 furrows at a time and as swift as the wind. When she reaches the end row to wind her about, with a snatch of the lever, the plow she jumps out. So now you brave farmers, I have told yous quite plain, if your land's lying waste, it's yourself that's to blame. Just send him a postcard and tell him to come. For a few extra shillings, your farm he'll turn.
Suciecleasa. I've heard that one before.
Oh, great. So that's a bit of advertising for ploughs. Okay, Richard, what have you got for us? No doubt something.
They locked me out on the third try. I can't, you know, my hand shakes too much.
Lisa, we don't need to know that. Just tell the person you're on the phone to. Unfortunately, you got unmuted, I think, by without realising it. Okay, so Richard Mellish is next, and after him, Steve Suffett. Richard, are you there?
I'm here yet. Can you hear me all right?
If hear you now, yeah.
If it's too loud or too quiet, somebody shout or gesticulate, because there's a level adjustment and I'm not sure how it ought to be. When I was a nipper, one or two of the 78 RPM records that my family had were from a singer by the name of Randolph Sutton, and as a kid I couldn't wrap my tongue around that name, Randolph Sutton. I thought he was Grand Old Sutton, and this was one of those songs, and I don't quite know how I learnt it. I'm sure I didn't learn all of it when I was a nipper, and I must have got hold of the record some other time in my adult life, and I really don't remember how I got the rest of it in, but it got there eventually. For 7 years I've sailed the sea, I am a jolly sailor. For 7 years I've had to be on a filthy, dirty whaler. The sea was wet and I was dry, and the ship was a very, very bad one. It's time I went to shore, says I, for I shan't be happy till I've had one. Yo ho, me lads, yo ho, with a bottle of rum and a yo ho ho. Well, I've had a couple and I do feel good, I do feel good, I do feel good. We might get another in the neighbourhood, I rather think we will. If you want me to have another drink, I would. Well, I think I would. Well, I'm sure I would. So let's have another, because we do feel good and we may feel better still. The captain was teetotal mad, and very soon we knew it. He called for all the rum we had, and overboard he threw it. Then from the sea there came a whale. He rolled and he wobbled and he spouted. He winked his eye and wagged his tail, and he gave one hiccup and he shouted, yo ho, me lads, yo ho, with a bottle of rum and a yo ho ho. I've had a couple and I do feel good, I do feel good, I do feel good. We might get another in the neighbourhood, I rather think we will. If you want me to have another drink, I would. Well, I think I would. Well, I'm sure I would. So let's have another, because we do feel good and we may feel better still. The lobsters in their lobster pots play ring-a-ring-a-roses. The conger eels are tied in knots and the swordfish wave their noses. The crew struck work, the clock struck 10, the night was a very, very thick one, and the mermaids shouted same again, there must be time for a quick one. Yo ho, me lads, yo ho, with a bottle of rum and a yo ho ho. I've had a couple and I do feel good, I do feel good, I do feel good. We might get another in the neighbourhood, I rather think we will. If you want me to have another drink, I would. Well, I think I would. Well, I'm sure I would. So let's have another, because we do feel good and we may feel better still. That'll do.
Yeah. I'll have one any time.
That's great song.
Stuff, Richard. Proper jolly drinking jewellery song.
Any idea what it's called, Richard?
I think it's called the Jolly Sailor.
It has to be, really, doesn't it?
Wrong many.
Okay. So, just for reference, it was quite loud compared to other people, so it suited the song very much. But yeah, if it had been a little bit quieter, it wouldn't have been a problem.
For reference, I can't really hear you, Amanda. That's the problem. You're very, very quiet. I don't know why.
Okay. I don't know.
Oh. I think it's because everybody else is not muted.
No, I don't
Normally, when you're speaking, everybody else is muted.
No.
I can hear you all
It's
right.
illogical.
Right, okay. All right, I'm going to try another microphone then, but this... How can you hear me now?
No, not as loud as usual, Amanda.
No.
Still not as loud as usual. Do you know what it is? It's probably because I've got the doors open and the sound is disappearing outside rather than bouncing off the walls. So I'll fix that.
That's better.
In a minute. But in the meantime,
Good when you lean forward.
Steve, Suffett, followed by Tara.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Can you hear me? Can people hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Good. Thank you. On January 2nd, 2006, 13 men went to work in the coal mine in Sago, West Virginia. There was an explosion and a partial cave-in. And 2 days later, only one man came out alive. The other 12 died not from the cave-in and not from the explosion, but from asphyxiation. The fire damp, the mixture of carbon monoxide and methane, coal dust that seeped into the mine is what killed them. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? It's shrieking and it's crying, says there's trouble at the mine. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? The refrain is always the same, so you could join me on that. Of course, muted. Can you hear that little girl pray? Can you hear that little girl pray? Can you hear that little girl pray? Bring my daddy home today. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the mine rescue team? Can you hear the mine rescue team? Can you hear the rescue team listening for the miners scream? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the trapped miners joke? Can you hear the trapped miners joke? Can you hear the miners joke on the fire, damp, and smoke? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the mine widows moan? Can you hear the mine widows moan? Can you hear the widows moan? Gonna chill you to the bone. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear the mine owners lie? Can you hear the mine owners lie? Can you hear the owners lie while another 12 men die? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? First verse and we'll go out. Can you hear that steam whistle blow? Can you hear that steam whistle blow? It's shrieking and it's crying, says there's trouble at the mine. Can you hear that steam whistle blow?
Oh, some great harmonies there.
I wish I could hear them. That day will come. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Muting myself
For misery. Is this volume better?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
Fine.
Originally.
there you go. Close the doors. That's all it took. Okay, so Tara's our next singer, singing from behind the veil, followed by David Jones.
I hope you can hear me because my microphone's pretty basic. Can you hear me?
You're pretty quiet.
I'm getting as close to the microphone as I possibly can. So I'm sorry, it's a bit quiet, but I'll just sing loud, okay?
Okay.
It's a nursery rhyme for kids. In Brittany, yar is a chicken, and yarig means a little chicken. So it's a song about a little chicken and finding its egg. And it sounds like a happy song, but actually when you sing it, it sounds quite kind of, you know, dramatic. So here we go. Ayarik, ayarik, elekamonizi. Nagombrik, alquezet sewani. Agmi adro, akazistro, emamokatri. Ema peuma, ema degani. Ema peuma, ema degani. Ayarik, ayarik, pelekamonizi. Nagombrik, alquezet sewani. Agmi adro, akazistro, kenamokatri. Ema peuma, ema degani. Ema peuma, ema degani. Thank you.
Lovely, Clara. Sure.
Short and sweet.
I think that's our first Breton song. So thank you for that. Totally different language, isn't it? Fantastic. So David Jones is going to follow that, probably not singing in Breton, but we'll see. And after him, Bob Askew will be up next.
You're muted.
How's that?
Better.
It's like there's gradations. Okay, well, I was singing this song. It's called The Ship in Distress. Now, I've just been listening to it on this old Topic record called Farewell Nancy, one of the best records I know of sea songs. And the song is, the ship is in the doldrums, and they've got to come up with a democratic way of selecting which crew member they shall eat. So this is what they do. This is you seamen bold, who plough the ocean, see dangers landsmen never know. It's not for honor or promotion, no tongue can tell what they undergo. In the blusterous winds, in the deep dark waters, our ship went drifting on the sea, her headgear gone, and her rudder broken, which brought us to extremity. For 14 days, heartsore and hungry, seeing naught but wild water and the bitter sky. Poor fellows all stood in a totter, a casting lots which of them should die. The lot it fell on Robert Jackson, whose family was so very great. I'm free to die, but oh my comrades, let me keep a lookout till the break of day. A full-dressed ship, like the sun a-glittering, came bearing down to their relief. As soon as this glad news was shouted, it banished all their care and grief. Our ship brought to, no longer drifting, straight in St. Vincent, Cape Verde she came. You seamen all, who hear my story, I pray you never suffer the like again.
Yeah.
Another cracking song, David. Thank you. So Bob is up next, possibly with a song from Hampshire, but it doesn't have to be. And after him, we'll have Gary Walker, please.
Yeah, I definitely want to sing a song from Hampshire. I'm here in sunny Fareham, where in 1906 a great George Gardner came and collected 30 songs, and 20 of them he got from a man called George Smith. So I'm going to sing one of him. I'm going to sing his. I'm going to sing his version of John Barleycorn. And George Gardner was very pleased to find that the men came from the east the right way in this song. There came 3 men from the east, they sold both corn and rye, and they have made a vow, my boys, John Barleycorn should die. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. They ploughed the ground and sowed, they put clods upon his head, and they have made a vow, my boys, John Barleycorn was dead. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. There he lay for a very long time, till rain from the sky did fall. John Barleycorn he roused, me boys, and that surprised them all. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. They let him stand till midsummer, when he grew both pale and wan. John Barleycorn has grown a beard, and so become a man. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. They hired men with scythes sharp to cut him at the knee. They rolled and tied him by the side, and served him barbarously. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. In comes a jolly poker to poke him with a fork, but the carter served him worse than that, for he bound him to the cart. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. In comes a jolly flesher to cut some flesh from bone. The miller served him worse than that, for he ground him 'tween 2 stones. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. Here's brandy in a bottle and cider in a can. John Barleycorn in that brown jug, we'll floor the jolliest man. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. Here's brandy in a bottle and cider in a can. John Barleycorn in that brown jug, we'll floor the jolliest man. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee.
Song of shocking torture. Thank you for that, Bob.
Barley though.
Okay, Gary is next, and then, if he is there, Clive.
Okay, going to do a Kipling poem that was set to music by Pete Bellamy.
There was no one like him or Suffett, nor any of the guns I knew. And because it was so, why, of course, he went and died, which is just what the best men do. So it's knock out your pipes and follow me. Finish up your swipes and follow me. Oh, up to the big drum calling. Follow me home. His mare, she neighs the whole day long. She paws the whole night through. And she won't take a feed, 'cause her weight before his step, which is just what a beast would do. So it's knock out your pipes and follow me. Finish up your swipes and follow me. Oh, hark to the big drum calling. Follow me home. His girl, she goes with a bombardier before a month is through. And the bands are up in church, for she's got the beggar hooked, which is just what a girl would do. So it's knock out your pipes and follow me. Finish up your swipes and follow me. Oh, hark to the big drum calling. Follow me home. We fought about a dog last week, it were no more than a round or two. But I struck him cruel hard, and I wish I hadn't now, which is just what a man can't do. So it's knock out your pipes and follow me. Finish up your swipes and follow me. Oh, hark to the big drum calling. Follow me home. He was all that I had in the way of a friend, and I've had to find one new. But I give me pay and strike for to get the beggar back, which is just too late to do. So it's knock out your pipes and follow me. Finish off your swipes and follow me. Oh, up to the fights a crawling. Follow me home. Take him away, he's gone where the best men go. Take him away, and the gun wheels turning slow. Take him away, there's more from the place he come. Take him away with the limber and the drum. For it's 3 rounds blank and follow me, and it's 13 rank and follow me. Oh, passing the love of women, follow me home. Follow me home.
Nice one.
Right.
Thank you, Gary. All the
Now I'm
people-
back. I'm back to Amanda.
Ah, hang on. Did I just hear Clive?
Yes,
Clive,
you
you're
did.
Here.
No, I'm
It's
here.
because you're next.
Am I?
You are. And after you,
You
it'll
want
be
me to?
Breton.
You want me to sing now?
Absolutely, yes, please.
But how am I supposed to turn this sound off? I don't know how to do all that.
Hopefully Livy can sort you out if you just wait a second.
Anyway.
I'm waiting.
Sing,
I
mate.
haven't found him yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
I can see Clive. Shall I unmute him? Yeah. Hopefully I can unmute you, Clive. I can't hear you yet. You should have a message saying, can you unmute? Oh, yeah.
Right.
You're on mute.
Yes, yes.
I'm unmuted now.
That's
Hold
you.
on a bit.
Fire away.
I was asked to sing a song before.
And
I
you're
don't
being
know,
asked to sing a song again.
and I don't know which one. I was asked to sing a particular song. I think, right. One night I was in Piccadilly. I met a poor girl in distress, a simple and sweet country damsel. You could tell by the style of her dress. She said, "Oh, kind sir, can you help me? I see that you're kind by your face. I want to go home to my uncle. If you please, sir, I can't find the place." Oh, she was a stranger in London, only just come to town. She wanted to find her uncle, whose name was Mr. Browne. In distress, she lost the address and didn't know where to go, but had an idea that her uncle lived down in Pimlico. Now, upon this poor girl I took pity and think what she could be done. She said she felt faint and hungry and longed for a milk and a bun. To Scott's Isle I took this fair damsel, and all for a cab looking round, and feeling a moment just after, my purse was missing I found. Oh, she was a stranger in London, only just come to town. She wanted to find her uncle, whose name was Mr. Browne. In distress, she lost the address and didn't know where to go, but had an idea that her uncle lived down in Pimlico. Now upon this poor girl I took pity and think what could be done. She said she felt faint and hungry and longed for a milk and a bun. To Scott's Isle I took this red damsel, and all for a cab looking round, and feeling a moment just after, my purse was missing I found. Oh, she was a stranger in London, only just come to town. She wanted to find her uncle, whose name was Mr. Browne. In distress, she lost the address and didn't know where to go, but had an idea that her uncle lived down in Pimlico. End.
Well done, Clive. Thank you.
So you don't get rubbish from here.
Do you know, Clive, that's my favourite song of yours, so thank you for singing it. And every time I go through Pimlico Station, which in normal times is most days since I work near there, that song goes through my head every single time. So anyway, it turns out that it is a bit of a special day for Clive, seeing as is your birthday, apparently. Several people have taken place. So, happy birthday, and what this means, of course, is that we're all going to unmute.
Yay!
Singing together, Rule, and for the second week in a row, have a rendition of Happy Birthday. So, off we go. Happy birthday,
as I need to say.
Happy birthday, dear Clive.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you so.
Why was she once so beautiful? Why was he born at all?
Before we leave you alone.
How many?
Too many.
Many?
Before we
How
leave you in
many?
peace, Clive, I've
As
been
in how
told.
many?
Before we leave you in peace, Clive, I've been told that we've to ask you about your T-shirt. To see, have a view of your T-shirt.
Right, can you see it yet? Hold on.
Really?
What's the chords? G.
Chords.
It's a chord of D.
Are you 74 to answer that question?
D.
Just looked it up.
It's a chord of D7th, I think.
You're upside down. Something else.
Well, I'm always upside down. There's no answer to any of that.
Don't go
Anyway.
Okay. Anyway, let us now move on to back to normality. Which is in this case represented by Pal Carter, followed by Bernard Puckett. I don't know how normal that is.
Last week, Amanda suggested we might all sing a song with our name in it. So far, I'm the only one. This song, though, not only has my name in the title, it comes to us from the Carter family, so it has to be done. It would benefit greatly from a banjo and a fiddle, but I can't provide either of those, so you have to just make do with my voice. My little darling, oh how I love you, how I love you, none can tell. In your heart you love another, little darling pal of mine. Many a night when you lay sleeping, dreaming of your rambler's light, lay a poor boy broken-hearted, listening to the wind outside. Oh, little darling, how I love you, how I love you, none can tell. In your heart you love another, little darling pal of mine. Many a day with you I've rambled, countless hours with you I've spent. Thought I had your heart forever, but I find it only lent. Oh, little darling, how I love you, how I love you, none can tell. In your heart you love another, little darling pal of mine. There's just three things that I wish for. That's a casket, shroud and grave. When I'm dead, do not weep for me. Just kiss those lips that you betrayed. My little darling, how I love you, how I love you, none can tell. In your heart you love another, little darling pal of mine. In your heart you love another, little darling pal of mine.
Beautiful, Paul. Absolutely lovely.
Harmony.
So, Paul.
Beautiful.
Neat.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I can't claim to be related to them.
After the cacophony of the happy birthday chorus that got us back on track. Now probably taking us right off the rails again, it's be Bernard Puckett, followed by David Kidman. Welcome. Can't hear you. Unmute.
Hello, Bernard is here. Can I give a plug for Trad to Mad? We've got 7 days for June, and we've got 7 entries so far for this month. This is my love song for my wife that I wrote, which it also bathes in reflective glory from when I met Bob Dylan. So, my alcohol and ice cream baby, black lingerie and French perfume, Chardonnay's a Baglioni in the window of a candlelit room, dancing to a piano playing stop time in a mirrored hall with a view of a garden planted like Vitas in a million shades of blue. A poet named Dylan sang for her, but for her lover he politely declined. Her lover wrote another song for her, and her husband didn't seem to mind. She drives a hatchback through London, listening to Radio 4. A guy called Eddie Grundy says it's a bore to be poor. Money can't buy you happiness. Your health a home, why try? I'll buy you tutti frutti and champagne until the day I die. I love you, yes I do, and that is that. Na 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 na. Thank you.
For a while.
That's such an unusual love song. It's fabulous. That was Bernard. And next we have David Kidman. Is that what I said before? I hope so.
Yes, that's what you said.
David Kidman, and after David, Alison Frosdick.
It worked. Great. How do you follow that? Oh, yeah, right, okay. John Tam's song. How high the price, how deep the water, that makes widows out of wives. For this is not fish you're eating, this is men's lives. All clouds the sky, the boats are leaving. One last goodbye, dark waters call us on. The northern sea knows well the sound of grieving. How slight the fate we put our trust upon. Then go we must, no longer can we tarry. The waters wide, yet we must go and try. And like a bird on a silvery morning, home to your side we will chance to fly. And the water shines like patent leather. We search for signs upon this lifeless ground. The reckoning sky calls down some heavy weather. We've come for fish, and fish need must be found. Then go we must, no longer can we tarry. the water's wide, yet we must go and try. And like a bird on a silvery morning, home to your side we will chance to fly. And we ride the flood and trust to glory, some planks of wood no thicker than your thumb. It's all that keeps the telling of the story from being lost, or maybe being won. Then go we must, no longer can we tarry. The water's wide, yet we must go and try. And like a bird on a silvery morning, home to your side we will chance to fly. Home to your side we must chance to fly. Then go we must, no longer can we tarry. The water's wide, yet we must go and try. And like a bird on a silvery morning, home to your side we will chance to fly. Home to your side we will chance to fly. Clouds decide.
Lovely song, David. Thank you. So, Alison, you're up next, and after Alison, could we have Wendy?
Okay, well, I'm going to sing a song in Croatian tonight, which is a bit of a change. And it's a song that's sung at midsummer by a group of girls going around the village wishing good crops and good luck to farmers. And people give them presents of eggs or cheese. The girls are called Ladarice because they sing to Lada, who is the goddess of fertility. It's got a chorus which goes A lado lado, A lepi lado A, and that repeats, so it's quite easy to pick up. Anyway, here we go. Doszle Jezu Iwančice, dievojčice, ej lado, lado, ej lepi lado, ej lado, lado, ej lepi lado, ej. Stare majkom dovodile I ovako govorile, ej lado, lado, ej lepi lado, ej lado, lado, ej lepi lado, ej. Dajte nama starej majke, dajte nama lepe lade, ej lado, lado, ej lepi lado, ej lado, lado, ej lepi lado, ej. Daj rojte nam starej majke, daj nam lado, dobro zdravje, ej lado, lado, ej lepi lado, way. Hey lado, lado, hey lepi lado way. Dobro zdravie, starej majke, sej loj hiži svoj družini. Ej lado, lado, ej lepi lado way. Ej lado, lado, ej lepi lado way.
And this is
Great.
Lisa.
Oh, good.
Really did like it. And the rest
Fantastic, Alison.
tomorrow.
Had Breton
Now, there's
and
a lecture I
Croatian, so
want
the
to
question
cover
is,
from
what
the
is
class.
next?
That must be a record.
Wendy, this is a challenge to you, also to Sam and Eleanor, who will be on after Wendy.
Was absolutely amazing. I don't know how anyone can follow that, really. This is a song by Trevor Peacock, who probably people know from Vicar of Dibley, plus lots of other stuff, called Little Yellow Roses. And it's an anti-war song, and I think lots of people think it's about the Spanish Civil War, but I don't think it is really. Laid on my back with the sun in my eyes, soon I shall know what no living man knows. All of my life's been a fight against lies. Death brings the truth, and it's my turn to know. Send my mother a lock of my hair. Send my father the watch that he gave me. Tell my brother to follow me if he dares. Tell them I'm lost now and no one can save me. Remember, remember, send my love little yellow roses. My father taught me that all men are equal, whatever color, religion or land. Told me to fight for the things I believe in. 'Tis I have done with a gun in my hand. Send my mother a lock of my hair. Send my father the watch that he gave me. Tell my brother to follow me if he dares. Tell them I'm lost now and no one can save me. Remember, remember, send my love little yellow roses. I met my love in a garden of roses. She pricked her finger so sharp the thorn grows. We made a promise that till death should part us, we'd never look on that wild yellow rose. Send my mother a lock of my hair. Send my father the watch that he gave me. Tell my brother to follow me if he dares. Tell them I'm lost now and no one can save me. Remember, remember, send my love little yellow roses.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
Lovely. Do it again.
What a sad song. You did that brilliantly. Thank you.
Thank you.
So next we have Sam and Eleanor, and after we've had Sam and Eleanor, we'll have Tom Finn.
This is a song from Gloucestershire. A boppy little number. Other versions are available, but they're much ruder, so we wouldn't dream of singing them here. Okay. Good morning, Gossip Jones, and where hast thou been walking? Good morning, Gossip Jones, and where hast thou been walking? I've been walking in the morning, the morning, the morning. Walking in the morning, oh Gossip Jones. I've been walking in the morning, the morning, the morning. Walking in the morning, oh Gossip Jones. My cherry cow is calved beneath the parlour awning. My cherry cow is calved beneath the parlour awning. We'll have butter in the morning, the morning, the morning. Butter in the morning, oh Gossip Jones. We'll have butter in the morning, the morning, the morning. Butter in the morning, oh Gossip Jones. My piggy is not well, pray tell to me the matter. My piggy is not well, pray tell to me the matter. For he ate the wooden platter, the platter, the platter. Ate the wooden platter, oh Gossip Jones. For he ate the wooden platter, the platter, the platter. Ate the wooden platter, oh Gossip Jones. Well, now my duck has swallowed a snail. Oh, isn't that a wonder? My duck has swallowed a snail. Now isn't that a wonder? For its horns grew out from under, from under, from under. Horns grow out from under, oh Gossip Jones. For its horns grow out from under, from under, from under. Horns grow out from under, oh Gossip Jones. Me wife, she has got drunk, and on the bed lies.
How likely is that?
Me wife, she has got drunk, and on the bed lies sleeping. But tomorrow she'll be weeping, be weeping, be weeping. Tomorrow she'll be weeping, oh Gossip Jones. But tomorrow she'll be weeping, be weeping, be weeping. Tomorrow she'll be weeping, oh Gossip Jones. Then it's off to the gin shop, I must trot to drive away all sorrow. It's off to the gin shop, I did trot to drive away all sorrow. And we'll tell you more tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Tell you more tomorrow, oh Gossip Jones. And we'll tell you more tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Tell you more tomorrow, oh Gossip Jones.
It's just as well that was the censored version, really. I horns grew out from
Just
under,
thinking that.
indeed, I don't know. Thank you. Okay, so Tom Finn is going to be next, and then then I'll do one.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, okay.
It was Peggy Seeger's birthday last week. I think she turned 85, so I'm going to try one of her songs. And like Steve, this is a mining disaster one, the Spring Hill mining disaster, which happened back in 1958 in Nova Scotia. And I think there was about 174 miners trapped, and they managed to rescue 99. I think about 75 of them died. It became famous at the time because it was the first major international event to be carried live on television. And there was a governor down in Georgia at the time decided to capitalize on all of this. So he decided to invite all the survivors down to a theme park he was opening down in Georgia. But it was a public relations disaster for him because one of the guys was a black man, and he was a segregationist. So he insisted when they all came down that this black guy be put up in a trailer park outside the park. So as you can understand, it didn't go down too well with the Canadians. And the same guy was actually voted Canadian Man of the Year that year because he was also the last man out and the man who kept everybody going by singing songs and keeping their spirits up. Anyway, Spring Hill mining disaster. In the town of Spring Hill, Nova, sorry, wrong key. In the town of Spring Hill, Nova Scotia, down in the dark of the Cumberland mine, there's blood on the coal and the miners lie in roads that never saw sun or sky. Roads that never saw sun or sky. In the town of Spring Hill, you don't sleep easy. Often the earth will tremble and roll. When the earth is restless, miners die. Bone and blood is the price of coal. Bone and blood is the price of coal. In the town of Spring Hill, Nova Scotia, late in the year of 58, the day still comes and the sun still shines, but it's dark as the grave in the Cumberland mine, dark as the grave in the Cumberland mine. 3 days passed and the lamps gave out, and Caleb rushed and got up and said, there's no more water or light or bread, so we live on songs and hope instead. We live on songs and hope instead. Listen for the shouts of the black-faced miners. Listen through the rubble for the rescue teams. 300 tons of coal and slag. Hope imprisoned in a 3-foot seam. Hope imprisoned in a 3-foot seam. 12 days passed and some were rescued, leaving the dead to lie alone. Through all their days they dug a grave. 2 miles of earth is a marking stone. 2 miles of earth is a marking stone. That's it.
Brilliant.
A great song, well sung.
Well sung, mate.
A good night for mining disasters.
Out of it about.
Well with her.
Okay, so it's me next, and after me, it's going to be Judy Cook. So yeah, this is so this is a Violet Jacob poem that's been set to music. It's quite a short one. It's a young man sitting in church and definitely not thinking about God at all because he's got somebody else to think about. Oh, Jean, my Jean, when the bell calls the congregation, our valley and hill we a ding frae its iron moo. When nobody's thought set on their own salvation, mine set on you, mine set on you. There's a reed rose lies on the book of the word afore ye, that was grown sae braw in its bush at the keek o' the day. And the laddie that stole yon flower o' the morning's glory, he canna pray, he canna pray, he canna pray. But there's nane on the kirk 'll heed him, while he's sitting sae still in his lane by the side o' the wa'. And there's nane but the reed rose kens what my lassie gied him. Et and us twa, et and us twa. He canna sing for the sang that his ain heart raises. He canna see for the mist that's afore his een. And a voice droons the hail of the psalms and the paraphrases, singing, Jean, 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 Jean. Tom in the car.
Lovely. Lovely.
Lovely song.
Thank you. I think it's just lovely words. If you understand them, even if you can't, they've got something.
She wrote a lot of words.
So, we have Judy Cook next, and then to close the first half, we'll have Maggie and Pete.
You're muted.
I was very pleased to get a request. So I'm going to sing a song by Shel Silverstein called The Mermaid of Ontario. Now, Lake St. Clair is on the Canadian-US border between the lakes of Huron and Erie, which is not far from us. We're just 10 miles off Lake Erie. And that is where the Mermaid of Ontario lives. Oh, the Mermaid of Ontario had long green stringy hair-o, and a seaweed gown to wear-o, but she had no one to marry-o. She had no one to marry-o. Now the Mermaid of Ontario loved a big-mouthed bass named Larry-o, who lived in Lake St. Clair-o, underneath the St. Clair Ferry-o, underneath the St. Clair Ferry-o. So the Mermaid of Ontario sent a seagull emissary-o to ask that big bass Larry-o if he'd consent to marry-o, if he'd consent to marry-o. No, 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 says Larry-o, my life I will not share-o. I'd rather live solitary-o, sit around in my underwear-o, sit around in my underwear-o, on my derriere, airy-o, on my derriere, airy-o. And before I'd marry you, I'd marry-o a Guernsey cow from the dairy-o, or eat a poison berry-o, and die with fish's dysentery-o, and die with fish's dysentery-o. And you're so ordinary-o, whilst I am extraordinary-o, and I look so debonair-o, and I have a very fine vocabulary-o, and I have a very fine vocabulary-o, 'cause I memorized the fish's dictionary-o, 'cause I memorized the fish's dictionary-o. Now the mermaid of Ontario, she fell into despair-o. She cried all day, then she ran away with a yuppie little guppy named Gary-o, with a yuppie little guppy named Gary-o. Now they're a happy pair-o, 'cause he's a millionaire-o, on his yacht 'neath Lake St. Clair-o. They snuggle in a cozy little cherry-o. They snuggle in a cozy little cherry-o, and listen to his underwater stereo, and listen to his underwater stereo. But the big mouth bass named Larry-o wed a Guernsey cow from the dairy-o, who fed him a poison berry-o. Now he's in the fish's cemetery-o. Now he's in the fish's cemetery-o. And that's the whole scenario.
Very good.
There you go, Judy. But is it true?
It's
all true.
Every word of it, it's all true. It's all true.
I believe.
Of course it's true.
Was it Silverstein who wrote Sylvia's mother said that one, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, great.
Lots of other stuff as well.
Uncle Shelby's ABC book is one of the
Oh,
fondest memories.
I can't get over that. I don't think I'll get over that for a while. That was brilliant. Especially
Thank you.
props. Right. Fabulous.
Thanks for asking.
So thank you for being with us, Judy. I believe you have to go now, but I'm glad you.
I'm very sorry. I'll be back next week.
Excellent.
Look forward to seeing you.
In the meantime, just before we have a break, we have Maggie and Pete.
On mute,
Right.
Maggie.
I did. Wendy, Dave, sorry, we did it last night. I'm just so fond of this new discovery. There's many send-ups and versions of the Battle Hymn of the Republic, but I was reading about Sojourner Truth and would urge everybody to do so if you haven't. And among other things, she wrote a recruiting song during the Civil War for the Michigan Colored Regiment. And I just like its confidence so much, and I hope to see you all joining in lustily with the chorus. We are the valiant soldiers who've listed for the war. We are fighting for the Union. We are fighting for the law. We can shoot a rebel further than a white man ever saw as we go marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah, as we go marching on. Look there above the center where the flag is waving bright. We are going out of slavery. We are bound for freedom's light. We mean to show Jeff Davis, slow down. We mean to show Jeff Davis how the Africans can fight as we go marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah, as we go marching on. We are done with hoeing cotton. We are done with hoeing corn. We're colored Yankee soldiers as sure as you are born. When Massey hears us shouting, he will think it's Gabriel's horn as we go marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, 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 hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah, as we go marching on. They will have to pay us wages, the wages of their sin. They will have to bow their foreheads to their colored kith and kin. They will have to give us house room, or the roof will tumble in as we go marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah, as we go marching on. We hear the proclamation, Master, hush it as you will. The birds will sing it to us, hopping on the cotton mill. The possum up the gum tree couldn't keep it still as we go marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah, as we go marching on. Father Abraham has spoken, and the message has been sent. The prison doors have opened, and out the prisoners went to join the sable army of African descent as we go marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah, as we go marching on.
Yeah.
I bet the harmonies were brilliant.
As always.
It's great harmonies, thank you.
Yeah.
Pete, does that count as your song as well?
Yeah,
or-
that's our
Okay,
song.
brilliant.
Cooperating.
In that case, it is time for the interval. I am going to leave everybody for a bit. So if you have a parish notice, an announcement, or news, then please unmute yourself and share it with us. I'm going to stop the recording just now. Hopefully I'll remember to put it back on when we start the second half. So welcome to the second half, and John White, we need to find you and unmute you, and then you'll be on, followed by Simon Prager. So I'll give you a shout when we've unmuted you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay to start?
Yes, fire away, John.
This is a song from the Victorian music halls. It's set in Covent Garden in the days when, for 400 years, it had been the biggest wholesale market for fruit, vegetables and flowers, I think, in the world. But this is a song of one of the porters there, because they were a very lively lot. Hundreds of porters worked there, but one of them came into some money and became a snob and wouldn't talk to his friends. So
John, just before you start, we can't see your face. I wonder if you could just adjust your camera upwards.
Oh.
We've got your desk again.
That better? Any improvement? How's that?
It needs to go up a bit more still. It's better, but we still haven't got much of your face.
I'm afraid it's going to fall off otherwise. Okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Okay, that's lovely. Okay, right. Anyway, this chap becomes into some money, becomes a snob, won't talk to his mates, who say of him, he don't know where he are. Jack Jones is well known to everybody around about the market, don't you see? I've no fault to find with Jack at all when he's as he used to be. But somehow since he's had the bullion left, he has altered for the worst. When I sees the way he treats old pals, I am filled with nothing but disgust. He says as how we isn't class enough, says we're not upon a par with him just because he's better off, won't smoke a pipe but puts on a cigar. When he's up at Covent Garden, you can see him a-standing all alone. Won't join in a quiet Tommy Dodd, he's drinking scotch and sodas on his own. As the cheek and impudence to call his mother his ma. Since Jack Jones come into that little bit of coin, well, he don't know where he are. He once was very fond of playing Codham, and at cards he used to play all fours. Now he brags about his baccarat, tells us of his billiard scores. He used to have his shilling on an horse. Take my word, that's all he did. No, he never has a silver bet, never nothing less than half a quid. Each day, the Sportsman and the Telegraph, once he was contented with the Star, orders eggs on toast and not hard boiled, which shows the josser don't know where he are. So when he's up at Covent Garden, you can see him a-standing all alone. Won't join in a quiet Tommy Dodd, he's drinking scotch and sodas on his own, and he has the cheek and impudence to call his mother his ma. Since Jack Jones come into that little bit of coin, well, he don't know where he are. He wears boots which pinches up his awkward feet. I've seen him in a collar and a tie. When I heard he bought a diamond pin, I thought as though I'd like to die. He rolls up in a hansom every day, though he's big enough to walk. Speaks as though he was that Colonel North, nearly makes you ill to hear him talk. One day I spies him with a top hat on, says he's bought another for his pa. Orders eggs on toast and make sure they're soft, which shows the josser don't know where he are. And when he's up at Covent Garden, you can see him a-standing all alone. Won't join in a quiet Tommy Dodd, he's drinking scotch and sodas on his own. He has the cheek and impudence to call his mother his ma. Since Jack Jones come into that little bit of coin, well, he don't know where he are.
Well done, John. Yeah, lovely, John.
Great stuff, John. Thank you. Okay, I love these old music hall songs. So Simon may or may not have a music hall song. I suspect not, but you never know. Simon, whatever he sings will be followed by Rebecca Woolf.
I can do a musical song, but I wasn't planning to. Actually, John, I should have said, is another South Londoner who lives around the corner from me. And so was Gus Elan, who performed that song, who came from Balham. This is an American song called Hesitation Blues, and there are various versions of it. It was originally a traditional tune, I think, but various people wrote it up, including W.C. Handy. And I found another song, which I shoved in the middle because it's got the same tune. And the other song is it's a blues about repetitive strain injury. There aren't many of those.
late this morning, about 4:30, hesitation blues come knocking at my door. Tell me how long must I have to wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? I ain't never been to heaven, but I've been told St. Peter taught the angels how to jelly roll. Tell me how long must I have to wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? I'm standing on the corner with $1 in my hand, looking for a woman who's looking for a man. Tell me how long must I have to wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? Now history tells about poor old Joe. He hung around with his head hung low, 'cause he couldn't stop doing it. He wouldn't stop doing it. He chopped too much cotton, but he stopped doing it now. Our neighbor's rooster used to chase our hen. We asked him, please don't let it happen again, but he wouldn't stop doing it. He couldn't stop doing it. We had soup last night and he stopped doing it now.
Well done.
Yeehaw!
Fantastic as a normal song. Well done. Gorgeous.
Great stuff. Thank you, Simon. So it's Rebecca next, our second wolf of the evening, followed by Riggy.
Yeah, happy birthday, Dad. Hope you can still hear me. I think you're still there. Haven't got any new folk songs, so I'm doing this one instead. Child among the weeds, don't need no reasons. Just sing him a lullaby, lullaby. Oh, the long night through. An old man in a rocking chair will lead you there. Just sing him a lullaby, lullaby. Oh, the warm day too. A young man in and among your sheets will leave a seed unweed. Just sing him a lullaby, lullaby, all night and one day too. Fly, bird, fly on your raven wings. Take to the sky and sing for the love of wheeling and turning. day has just begun. The silver sun is shining. Wake up, everyone. The day is only dazzling. Fly, bird, fly on your raven wings. Take to the sky and sing for the love of wheeling and turning. Child among the weeds, don't need no beads. Just sing him a lullaby, lullaby. Sing for the love of wheeling and turning. Sing for the love of weeping and burning.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Nice one.
Lovely dance.
Lovely.
What do you think, Clive?
Don't forget to chat to catch up on the chat. Lots of nice comments in the chat for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Riggy, all the way from the Golden Hind, will be followed by Jan Ayres.
Okay, this is a Scottish tongue twister that was not written by Adam Naughton. Jack Foley, I believe, from Edinburgh, came up with this tongue twister. And hopefully I'll get through it all the way. When your time of work is done and you've earned yourself some fun, in the pub you start to sup, you drink and clink in every cup, and the pint pots you're perusing and you're boozing till you're snoozing, you're losing all your senses to the drink. But when all these folks a prim are swinging swell up to the grim, with nips of gin and numbered pims and sugar rubbed along the rim, when they can drink until they drop, for the sly besotted Scot, he'll be breaking oot a bottle of the best, breaking oot a bottle of the best, breaking oot a bottle of the best. This tune, by the way, is Ricketts Hornpipe, the only tune I know of that was written in honor of a disease. I to hell with all the rest. Give me a bottle of the best. The amber bead I'll doon with speed. It's no bad taste or waste, just greed. And a whiskey still I'll kill. I'll drink my fill, and if I spill a Jill, you know I will. I'll lick it off the floor. I'll not touch teachers' grants nor hay. Give me Benmow or Lochroeg. Glenfarclas in a glass, well, you can throw the top away, for there's no use to pretend that you'll need the top again when you've broken oot a bottle of the best, when you've broken oot a bottle of the best. And the English like, here we are, and the English like their ale, warm and flat straight out the pail. They ice litter with their bitter, it would slaughter Jack the Ripper, and they drink their cider rough. They huff and puff and sniff and snuff, and as if that's not enough, they start to sing. Oh, when Jones's ale was brew, and John Barleycorn's wine brew, fathom the bowl, the barley mould, bring us a barrel, just a few. But their songs are far surpassed by the tinkle in the glass, when you broke in out a bottle of the best. And the Irish with their pride of Erin think they can deride our golden water with their potter when they're out there on the batter. 1,600 pints of stout of drinking bout without a doubt. And if they've not got the gout, they start to dance. These are all tune names. Father O'Flynn and Larry O'Gaff, Biddy the boy for a laugh. The young May moon that Gary on the blackbird drives him daft, and their jigs have no appeal to the Scot who likes to reel when he's broken out a bottle of the best. Aye, a bottle of the best, that's what it is, no idle jest, no Mickey Finn, no Rutger gin and bathtub wine that tastes like Finn. Have no fear, it's not like beer, malt whiskey strong and bright and clear, but it's all so bloody dear, but what the hell? And it belts you in the belly like a heavyweight Lochgelly. A glow begins to grow, 6 in a row downs you to jelly. Then you fall down in a heap, and you dream perchance to sleep, and then you broke out a bottle of the best.
Yeah, good song.
Cracking song.
Lovely song.
Nice one.
And
We've
what
had some
a Scottish accent. Huh?
No, I tried to avoid it. I tried to
Racken.
You ever hear me putting on an English accent or a Scottish?
Absolutely authentic, Riggy.
No comment whatsoever from me or Sheila or Hazel.
My tongue.
Had some great drinking songs this evening, actually, so that's another one. Thanks, Riggy. And Jan is next, and Jan is going to be followed by Ray McLaughlin.
Yeah. And on a wagon bound for market, there's a calf with a mournful eye. High above him there's a swallow winging swiftly through the sky. How the winds are laughing, they laugh with all their might. Laugh and laugh the whole day through, and half the summer's night. Donna, 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 donna. Stop complaining, said the farmer, who told you a calf to be. Why don't you have wings to fly with, like the swallow, so proud and free? How the winds are laughing, they laugh with all their might. Laugh and laugh the whole day through, and half the summer's night. Donna, 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 don, donna, 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 don. Calves are easily bound and slaughtered, never knowing the reason why. But whoever treasures freedom, like the swallow, has learned to fly. How the winds are laughing, they laugh with all their might. Laugh and laugh the whole day through, and half the summer's night. Donna, 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 don, donna, 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 don. Thanks. Okay. Nice one.
Thank you, John. More beautiful harmonies that I'm sure you could imagine.
Yeah.
Someday. Anyway, in the meantime, we have Ray, and then we have David Diamond.
No, I hadn't. Okay, I'm going to do an American Labour song by John O'Connor. Well, early in the morning at the start of the day, I force my fingers round the handle of the blade. I start into cutting as fast as I can. By the end of the day, I can hardly move my hands. I got that old carpal tunnel and my hands won't move, and the foreman tells me stay in the groove. You cut them cattle as fast as I do, you get that carpal tunnel too. Well, 10 years ago I started in the kiln. Now 10 years later, well, I got my fill. I keep on working though the line's twice as fast. I don't know how long these arms will last. I got that old carpal tunnel and my hands won't move, but the foreman tells me stay in the groove. You cut them cattle as fast as I do, you get that carpal tunnel too. Well, I work with a knife and a blade in my hand. I cut them cows with a big iron band, but I feel like the knife's cutting me all the time, 'cause the carpal tunnel lives in the big nerve line. I got that old carpal tunnel and my hands won't move, but the foreman tells me stay in the groove. You cut them cattle as fast as I do, you get that carpal tunnel too. Well, there ain't 5 minutes that passes a man that he don't feel the carpal tunnel deep in his hands. He feels it in his fingers and his wrists all the time. It's the curse of the speed up on the carcass line. I got that old carpal tunnel and my hands won't move. The foreman tells me to stay in the groove. You cut them cattle as fast as I do, you get that carpal tunnel too. Well, I go in for an operation once more, but I come right back to the killing floor. Gonna tell them darling children of mine, don't you ever go to work on the packing house line. I got that old carpal tunnel and my hands won't move, but the foreman tells me stay in the groove. You cut them cattle as fast as I do, you get that carpal tunnel too. Well, the foreman tells me to stay in the groove. I got that old carpal tunnel and my hands won't move.
Lovely, nice one.
Really good. Good.
Well sung, Ray.
Well, I can relate to that, although it's not meat butchering. The computers that have done it for me. But anyway,
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So now we have David Diamond, and he's going to be followed by Lisa. Are you there, David?
Sorry about that. I'll start again. Stand back, everybody. I'm going to sing a ballad. It's all... I better get the tune right before I start. It's all a gypsy fine. It's of a gypsy fine and free, who sang both soon and late. And he sung by the castle wall, and at the castle gate. He sung his song of love that's true, and lasts while a man might live. And he's won the heart of the lady there, and it was not hers to give. It was not hers to give, my dear. It was not hers to give. He's won the heart of a lady there, and it was not hers to give. She's answered him from the window high, and she sang loud and long. And sweeter than the larks do sing, she sang the gypsy's song. She sang it walking on the stair. She sang it by the door. But when she came to the castle gate, it's there she sang no more. It's there she sang no more, my dear. It's there she sang no more. But when she came to the castle gate, It's there, she sang no more. Oh, I would go with you, my dear, and leave my house and land. For truth and love are riches more than thousands at command. But for to leave my own dear babe, I've not the heart nor the will. And my husband, he comes home this night, and I fear he'll treat you ill. I fear he'll treat you ill, my dear. I fear he'll treat you ill. My husband, he returns this night, and I fear he'll treat you ill. There's many a man might treat me ill, to them I pay no mind. But lady, such a love as ours I never more will find. I beg you take the song we sang in your heart to keep and store. For I have sung it once for I, and I will not sing it more. I will not sing it more, my dear. I will not sing it more. For I have sung it once for I will not sing it more. In winter she sits in the window high, in springtime by the door. In summer she stands at the castle gate, but the gypsy comes no more. And little now that gypsy cares who might treat him well or ill. And the autumn leaves blow on his grave, and he sleeps beneath the hill.
Thank you, David. Some nights we get lots of ballads and some nights we get hardly any, so thank you for bringing that.
Okay, my pleasure.
Okay, so Lisa Noel is our next singer,
Hey.
and after her, could we have Chris Lamb?
You're on mute, Lisa.
There you go. This is a song from a building of the, in the early 19th century, a lot of Irish people came to America to help build the canals, dig holes through the easternmost range of the Appalachian Mountains, the Allegheny Mountains. So they worked in Pennsylvania mostly and in Western Maryland. And this is a very happy immigration song. I would say it probably comes from about the 1820s or 30s. And not long after that, there was a terrible fevers and plagues that swept through the canal camps and killed just literally hundreds of the immigrants who'd come over to work. But this is from a happier time. It's called Patty and the Canal. When I landed in sweet Philadelphia, the weather was pleasant and clear. Oh, I did not stay long in that city, so quickly I shall let you hear. I did not stay long in that city, for it happened to be in the fall. I never reefed a sail in my rigging till I anchored out on the canal. Fare you well, father and mother, likewise to old Ireland too. Fare you well, ye sisters and brothers, so kindly I'll bid you adieu. When I first saw this wonderful empire, It filled me with the greatest surprise. Oh, to see such a great undertaking, and the like I never opened my eyes. To see a full 100 grave fellows at work among mountains so tall, and to cut through the valleys till so level, at work for to build a canal. Fare you well, father and mother, likewise to old Ireland too. Fare you well, ye sisters and brothers, so kindly I'll bid you adieu. Well, I entered with them for a season, my monthly pay for to draw, and being in a very good humour, I often sang Erin Gabra. Our provisions, they were very plenty, to complain we'd no reason at all. There was money in every pocket while working upon the canal. Fare you well, father and mother, likewise to old Ireland too. Fare you well, my sister and brother, so kindly I'll bid you adieu. I learned to be very handy, to use both the shovel and spade. Oh, I learned the whole art of canaling, I thought it an excellent trade. I learned to be very handy, though I was not very tall. I could handle the sprig of shillelagh while working upon the canal. Fare you well, father and mother, likewise to old Ireland too. Fare you well, ye sister and brother, so kindly I'll bid you adieu. Me being an entire stranger, be sure I had not much to say, when our boss came round in a hurry, saying, boys, it's grog time a day. We all marched up in full order, he was father now to us all, and I wished from that very moment to be working upon the canal. Fare you well, father and mother, likewise to old Ireland too. Fare you well, ye sister and brother, so kindly I'll bid you adieu. Now at last, when our labours are over, be sure that our rent it is paid, and we lay down our pick and our shovel, likewise our axe and our spade. We all said, a-joking together, there is nothing our minds to enthrall, and if happiness be in this wide, wide world, I'm sure it is on the canal. Fare you well, father and mother, likewise to old Ireland too. Fare you well, ye sister and brother, so kindly I'll bid you adieu.
Lovely stuff.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. Excellent.
Great stuff, Lisa. Thank you very much. Now we must kindly bid you adieu and say hello to Chris Lamb, and following him, David Clare.
Right. Well, since the coronavirus crisis started, there have been a number of fine songs about lockdown and its aftermath. This isn't one of them, but it has a practical use, this song. One of the major symptoms of COVID-19 is a shortness of breath. And so I recommend this song. If you sing this song, you will have, by the end of it, you will have tested negative for the virus. It's an Irish song written by a famous English writer, and whom some of you may be able to identify. There was an old sailor my grandfather knew who had so many things that he wanted to do that whenever he thought it was time to begin, he just couldn't because of the state he was in. He was shipwrecked and lived on an island for weeks, and he wanted a hat and he wanted some beaks and he wanted some nets or a line and some hooks for the turtles and things that you read of in books. And thinking of this, he remembered a thing that he wanted for water, and that was a spring. And he thought that to talk to, he'd look for and keep if he found it a goat or some chickens and sheep. And because of the weather, he wanted a hut with a door to come in by which opened and shut with a jerk which was useful if snakes were about, and a very strong lock to keep savages out. He began on the fish hooks, but when he began, he decided he couldn't because of the sun, and he knew what he ought to begin with, and that was to find or to make a large sun-stopping hat. He was making a hat with some leaves from a tree when he thought, I'm as hot as a body can be, and I've nothing to take for my terrible thirst, so I'll look for a spring and I'll look for it first. He thought as he started, oh dear, I'll be lonely tomorrow with nobody here. So he made in his notebook a couple of notes. I must first find some chickens, no, I mean goats. He had just seen a goat which he knew by the shape, when he thought, but I must have a boat for escape, but a boat means a sail which needs needles and thread, so I'd better sit down and make needles instead. He began on a needle, but thought as he worked that if this were an island where savages lurked, sitting safe in his hut, he'd have nothing to fear, whereas now they might suddenly breathe in his ear. So he thought of his hut, and he thought of his boat, and his hat, and his bricks, and his chickens and goat, and the hooks for his food, and the spring for his thirst, but he never could think what he ought to do first, and so in the end he did nothing at all, but basked on a shingle wrapped up in a shawl, and I think it was dreadful the way he behaved. He did nothing but basking until he was saved.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Never heard that song.
What was it?
Fantastic.
Congratulations.
Lie down. Sweating just listening to that.
Chris, you are officially virus-free. Congratulations.
You've all got to do it too. Does anyone know who the writer of that was, by the way?
Andrew Frank would be able to tell you because he sings it as well. He doesn't sing it as fast as that. Remember?
It was actually A.A. Milne.
Okay, so David Clare
You're
will have
right.
something very much not like that for us, and he'll be followed by Kathy Dent. You'll be wanting to unmute.
I'm just saying, Chris, you could do a sing-off with Tom on that one, I think. You might just beat him just at the moment. I'm going to sing this one for a simple reason that the racker is not here. And the racker always accuses me of only singing songs that has the word Claire in it. Well, this is nothing to do with me. This is about the wild geese. It was Lord Clare's battalion, one of the battalions of wild geese who went after the siege of Limerick. And it was, I don't know who wrote The Lovely Air, but it was a poem by somebody called, 19th century poet called Thomas Davis. It's called The Flower of Finney. Bright red is the sun on the waves of Loch Sheelan. A cool, gentle breeze from the mountain is stealing. Wine fair round its islands, the gentle ripples do play. But the fairest of all was the flower of Finney. Her hair black as night and her eyes like grey morning. She trims on the heather as if it's taught scorning, yet her heart and her lips are as soft as May Day. Young Eileen McMahon, the flower of Finney. But who down the hillside that red deer runs fleeter, and who on the lakeside is hastening to meet her, Fergus O'Farrell, that fiery young gay, oh, the darling and pride of the flower of Finney. One kiss and one clasp and one sweet look of gladness. But why do they change of a sudden to sadness? He has told his sad fortune, he can no longer stay. He must leave his poor Ivy to pine in Finney. For Fergus O'Farrell was true to his island, but the dark hand of tyranny drove him from Ireland. He has joined the brigade in the wars far away, but he vows he'll come back to the flower of Finney. Well, he fought at Cremona, she's heard of his story. He fought at Cassano, she's proud of his glory. Yes, sadly she sings Sheila all the day. Oh, come home, my darling, come home to Finney. Well, 8 long years have passed and she's nigh broken hearted. Her reel and her rock and her flag she has parted, and she sails with the wild geese to Flanders away, and leaves her poor parents alone in Finney. Well, Lord Clare on the field of Ramillies is charging, and before him the Sassenach squadrons enlarging, and behind him the cravans their lines do display, and beside him rise Fergus and shouts for Finney. On the slopes of Lord Judoin the Frenchmen are flying, Lord Clare and his squadron the foe still defying, outnumbered and wounded retreating array, and bleeding rise Fergus, and he thinks of Finney. In the cloisters of Ypres, a banner is swaying, and beneath it a pale weeping maiden maiden is praying, third flags the sole trophy of Ramildes fray, and the nun is Polly, the flower of Fenny.
Wow.
Oh, great.
Oh,
Wonderful.
very good.
Well done, Dave.
Great stuff,
Good
Dave.
luck, Dave.
Thank you.
Don't tell the racker. Tell the racker.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Okay, Kathy Dent, I'm really sorry, but you have to follow that. Um, and after Kathy, it's going to be Deirdre and Chris. Is it Chris? I'm sorry, you said Deirdre, you said your husband's name a long time ago in the chat. I think it's Chris. Anyway, Kathy and then Deirdre and Chris.
Okay, very short introduction. It's an Irish song. It's got a chorus and it's not a long one. I did a long one last week, so a short one this week. I have seen the lark so high at morn, heard his song up in blue. I have heard the blackbird pipe his note, the thrush and the linnet too, but there's none of them can sing so sweet, my singing bird as you are. Oh, my singing bird is you. If I could lure my singing bird from his own cozy nest, if I could catch my singing bird, I would warm him on my breast. For there's none of them can sing so sweet, my singing bird, as you. Oh, oh, my singing bird is you. If I could climb that high tree, I would rob that wild bird's nest, and I'd bring back my singing bird to the arms that I love best. For there's none of them can sing so sweet, my singing bird as you. Oh, 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 my singing bird as you. Singing bird.
Racker, well done. That's a good one. Oh, a blast from the past.
Good to hear that again.
Lovely, sweet song. Thank you. So, now we have Deirdre, and sorry, is it Chris?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, great. So either together, either Deirdre then Chris, or Chris then Deirdre, or both together. It's entirely up to you. Welcome. And after Deirdre and Chris, we'll have Neil. Don't forget to unmute.
Unmute, there you go.
Okay. Can you see me?
No, we can, yes.
So this tune is used by 3 different Morris teams in the US and Canada. So anyone's familiar with Oddington and Fieldtown, you'll probably hear it in the song. The song is, one of the dances was made for Steve Adams, who perished in 9/11, and another team lost Chris Karstanjian. So this song is dedicated to both of them. Come all you maids who live at a distance, many's a mile from off your swing. Come and assist me this very moment, for to pass away some time, singing sweetly and completely songs of laughter and of love. For my heart is with you altogether, though I live not where I love. Oh, when I sleep, I dream about you. When I wake, I find no rest. Every moment thinking of you, my heart fixed within your breast. Although far distance may be of assistance, if from my mind is love to remove, yet my heart is on with him altogether, though I live not where I love. All the world should be one religion, all living things should cease to die. If ever I prove false to my jewel, or in any way my love to deny, the world shall change and be most strange, if from my line his heart to remove. For my heart is with him altogether, though I live not where I love. So farewell, lads, and farewell, lasses. Now I think I've made my choice, and I'll away to yonder harbour, where I think I hear his voice. And if he calls, then I will follow, though the world it is so wide. For my heart is with him altogether, though I live not where I love.
Another blast from the past.
Beautiful, really lovely.
You can come again, Deirdre. Over to Chris now.
Hello, everyone.
Don't forget to unmute.
I don't think so. Okay.
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 All right. How's that? Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, first I came
Hello.
to the county cavern. It was to view
Wait a
a
second.
damsel, so fair and handsome. I took her for the fair Queen of May. I boldly asked her if she'd marry or care to be a young sailor's wife. Oh no, kind sir, I would rather tarry. I'd rather lead a free single life. You feeling creature, the pride of nature, how do you differ from all female kind? And you a damsel so fair and handsome. To be wed with you, I'd be much inclined. Ah, now, young man, the truth I'll tell you. I am in love this 5 years or more with one O'Reilly from the county Cavan that oft times wounded my heart sore. You're like a swan swimming on the ocean. You're making motions with both your wings. Your snow white breast, love, would be a potion for any lover or an Irish king. You are tall, and you are handsome, and you are fitting for to be a queen. I wish I had been in battle wounded before your beautiful face I'd seen. Now youth and folly makes young men marry, and here no longer can I stay. What can't be cured, love, must be endured, love. So farewell, darling, I must away.
Hooray.
You got the broken token or something.
My version hasn't got the broken token.
And the good news, Chris, is that you can come as well, come again as well, which really, because it could have been awkward, you know.
Leaving one of them behind.
We actually were at Sharps a number of years ago in person.
Where are you now?
We're in Brooklyn, New York these days.
Oh, wow. This is the advantage of Zoom. It's absolutely amazing that we get people from all over the world. So thank you for joining us. Do please come again. Our next singer is Neil. We still have, after Neil, we have 4 singers on the list. I think we will go on there for a wee bit beyond 11, but it won't be too late. So I hope we've got some great singers coming up. So please hang around. And yeah, it's Neil and then James Eagle.
For the benefit of Simon, this one's a song written by a South Londoner, John Bowell. And it's a lovely warm evening here in South London. So it's one of the few opportunities I get to sing this song when it fits. It's a sort of 20th century visiting song based on a short story by H.E. Bates, The Lily. The lily is a fine flower. There's one grows in my garden, and though the roots are white as milk, the blooms are blood red scarlet. It's a fine flower, the lily. Where did you get that lily flower? The scarlet one, you know. Where did you get that lily flower? Well, I stole it long ago. It's a fine flower, the lily. As I rode out on a hay wain, I looked out o'er a big high wall, saw a lawn and bank of flowers, scarlet lilies straight and tall. It's a fine flower, the lily. When I returned on the hay wain, the dusk was just a falling. Thinks I'll get some lily roots, tonight I'll come a-calling. It's a fine flower, the lily. Come 12, I scaled that high, high wall. Silently I slipped over. The air was warm, the moon was bright. The night was full of summer. It's a fine flower, the lily. I brushed past someone in the dark. A soft voice spoke, "Who's there?" A young girl in a snow-white frock says, "What are you doing here?" It's a fine flower, the lily. "What are you doing here?" she says. "Oh, hush, don't answer loudly." A young girl in a snow-white frock. I've done that one. I looked into her eye and said, "I've come for the lily, a fine flower, the lily." But what'll they do if they find you trespassing past midnight? What'll they say if they find us together in the moonlight? It's a fine flower, the lily. My parents, they may hear us or see us from their window. So hush your voice and make no noise and step into the shadow. It's a fine flower, the lily. So in the shadow of that wall, she walked and whispered with me. What happened then, old man, old man? Well, she gave me the lily. It's a fine flower, the lily, a fine, fine flower.
Lovely, nicely.
Sticky some ghostly holes there.
Lovely.
Don't know why.
Thanks very much, Neil. Lovely song. I don't think I've heard that before. Thank you. So James is our next singer, and then we've only got two after James. Sadly, it looks like Oliver has left us. So it will be James, and then Tom Reed, and then Hazel.
This is a Scottish song, but I'll spare you the accent. It's by Matt Armour, and it's loosely inspired by Father's Day the other day. My father was a bailie from a wee farm at Capeley. He worked on the land all the days of his life. By the time he made second, I swore he reckoned he'd ploughed near on half of the east nook of Fife. He feed on at Randeston, Crawhill and Cliffington, Cambo and Carnby and Kilrenny Mill. At Kingsbarns he married, at Boar Hills he's buried, but man, had he lived, he'd be ploughing on still. For those days were his days, and those ways were his ways, to follow the plough while his back was still strong. But those days are past, and the time come at last, for the weakness of age to make way for the young. Well, I wasn't for ploughing, to the sea I was going, to follow the fish and the fisherman's ways. Rain, hail and sunshine, I watched the long run line, no man more contented his whole working day. I long lined the Fladden ground, Dutch and the Dogger bank, pulled the big fish from the deep devil's hole. I side trawled off Shetland, the Faroes and Iceland, in weather much worse than a body could thole. But those days were my days, and those ways were my ways, to follow the fish while my back was still strong. But those days are past, and the time come at last, for the weakness of age to make way for the young. My sons, they are grown, and away they have flown, to search for black oil in the far northern sea. Like oilmen they walk and like Texans they talk. There's not much in common between my sons and me. They've rough-necked on Josephine, Forties and Ninian, Claymore and Dunlin and Fisher and Ork. They've made fortunes for sure, for in one run ashore they spend more than I'd earn for my whole season's work. But these days are their days, and these ways are their ways, to ride the rough rigs while their backs are still strong. But these days will pass, and the time come at last, for the weakness of age to make way for the young. My grandsons are growing, and to school they're soon going, but the long weeks of summer they spend here with me. We walk through the warm days and we talk of the old ways, the cornfields and codfish, the land and the sea. We walk through the fields that my father once tilled, talk to the old men who once sailed with me. Man, it's been awfully good, I've shown them all I could, of the past and the present, what their future might be. For the morn will be their day, what will be their way? What will they make of the land, sea and sky? I've seen everything change, but still it seems strange to look at my world through a young laddie's eyes. There you go.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Good.
Thank you, James.
Good one, James. Thank you. So we've just got 2 singers to go this evening, and who knows what Tom Reid has got this week, because he's brought some some cracking songs the last few weeks. So it's Tom next, and then to finish off the evening we'll have Hazel.
Well, I promise no virus rubbish this week. I'm actually going to attempt a Scottish song as well. But like James, I won't attempt the accent. I barely do a credible Irish accent. So. Although I did win the Scottish haggis on Burns night, presented to be me and judged by Amanda, so I wasn't doing too bad. Farewell to Tarwathie, the dew Mormon hill, and the green land o' Crimmon, I bid ye farewell. I'm bound out for Greenland and ready to sail, in hopes to find riches in hunting the whale. Adieu to my comrades, for a while we must part, and likewise the dear lass that fair won my heart. The cold ice of Greenland my love will not chill, and the longer my absence, more loving she'll feel. Our ship is well rigged and she's ready to sail. Our crew, they are anxious to follow the whale, where the icebergs do float and the stormy winds blow, and the land and the ocean are covered with snow. There's nae habitation for a man to live there, and the king of that country is the fierce Greenland bear, and there'll be no temptation to tarry long there. We'll fill our ship's barrels and homeward repair. So farewell to Tawathie, adieu Mormon Hill, and the dear land o' Crimmon, I bid ye farewell. I'm bound out for Greenland and ready to sail, in hopes to find riches in hunting the whale.
Nice one.
Fantastic stuff, Tom. Thank you as always. Oh, finally, and it's just after 11. We're going to sneak in one last singer to close the evening for us, and that is Hazel Richings. Hazel, over to you.
Unmute. Thanks. This is a short one, selected because I don't want to keep you up too late. I heard this one first in Whitby when I was billeted along the river and literally watching the lights go out along the shoreline, and that's one of the lines in this song. It's called Are You Out There? I'm not actually sure who wrote it. Are you out there somewhere, out upon your sea, watching the lights go out along the shoreline? Tell me, Toby, why do you have to go out there somewhere, out upon your sea? I wish you'd told me, shown me the pain behind your smile, secrets you carried silently inside you. I would have held you, loved you, made them fly away, wings stretched open out upon your sea. Ocean, angry, darkness in the tide, always a mystery hiding deep within you. Ocean, peaceful, underneath the sun, hide him, guide him, let him know I've come. Good night.
Beautiful. Lovely.
Thanks to everybody for a wonderful evening again.
Good to see you, Mark.
Everyone,
Good help.
Lovely night song there.
Amanda. Thank you.
And good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you all.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Thanks, Amanda and Libby.
Yes.
Till next
Thank
Tuesday.
you. Thank you all.
Libby, for all your muting and unmuting.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks, Amanda.
Brilliant night. Thanks a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Bye, all.
Many thanks.
Everybody.
Bye all.